You must listen to what Mike Novogratz has to say about the cryptocurrency market while he is live on CNBC. We will also discuss some updates about the Genius Act. I have all the facts we will examine, and it appears that a vote will take place early next week. We'll discuss XRP, of course, along with a ton of other news and information. Kevin O'Leary has some information here. Let's get started right here. I hope everyone is doing well. Let's get it. Enjoy your weekend. I also adore you all very much. I appreciate all of your help. Let's get this done. Roughly 104,000. Additionally, I recall that when we began to recover from the April lows, gold might have made the initial move. You mentioned, when gold goes, what was the exact data point? It was similar to crypto follows. Yes, we are here, as you can see. Yes, listen, we experienced a period of euphoria around the inauguration, which was caused by a variety of factors, Trump's point and so forth. It was all right. Additionally, cryptocurrency returned to test the area where the election breakout occurred. It appears that we will eliminate legs 106, 107, and 108 and go on to legs 130 and 150. You're in price discovery at that time, correct? I continue to believe that cryptocurrency is worth $2 trillion and gold is worth $22 trillion. And eventually, as more and more young people inherit money for their elderly parents, you're going to see cryptocurrency equal gold. It's a long way from here, too. Okay, let me just show you the crypto bill, which you also possess. According to Hein, the Genius Act aims to safeguard American finance's future. Stablecoin gives Americans quicker, less expensive, and more transparent ways to transfer money while also strengthening the US dollar's hegemony and modernizing our antiquated payment systems. The next wave of financial technology is digital asset technology. The US is prepared to take the lead. It appears that they have secured more consumer protections following some democratic negotiating, and they are now prepared to put this to a vote. Therefore, the Genius Act, which is the main cryptocurrency bill that the Senate will be considering next week, will concentrate on creating a federal regulatory framework for stablecoins that are based on US assets. The bill's goal is to provide the first thorough legal framework for payment stablecoins in the United States that addresses national security, anti-money laundering, and consumer safeguards. The limitations on stablecoin issuance. Recent events following last week's failure to proceed because of Democratic opposition primarily centered on consumer protection, national security, and anti-money laundering laws. Democrats voted against this. They wanted the bill to include these items. Republicans either wanted additional protections in the measure or didn't include these elements. Thus, they took that action. That's what we want, isn't it? They stood their ground. We want the law to include all of these things. You are protected by these provisions, aren't you? Even if the bill was hurried and lacked them, they keep you safe. Yes, we do want the bill to include those items, as well as worries regarding President Trump's cryptocurrency holdings. What are you going to do? Procedural vote, With a procedural vote set for Monday, Senate Majority Leader John Thune has filed for closure on the Genius Act. Limiting discussion and advancing the bill to a final passing vote are the goals of this vote. To move forward, 60 votes are needed. Therefore, you will need a minimum of 12 Democrats to attend. And maybe that occurs now that they have what they desired. Stable currencies will be an essential component of America's national security, which is why this is so crucial. I'm referring to the bond market when I say that. It frequently determines mortgage rates, credit card rates, student loan rates, and any other loan rates by using the yield on 10-year bonds as a base rate. Thus, the current base rate is little higher than 4.5%. Of course, the bank must turn a profit. You're looking at the salary then. 6 or 7% on a loan at the moment is simply, really tough, isn't it? You were able to obtain a loan for about 1% back in 2020, correct? So inexpensive. It was really inexpensive. And now, due to all of these factors, you are unable to. Although we're hopeful that interest rates would decline in the next months, stable coinage will be essential in this situation because China, Japan, and other allies are beginning to dump treasury bonds due to the amount of debt that America has, and how we're not actually paying much attention to that debt. We continue to add and add and add. Whether you are a Democrat or a Republican is irrelevant. When you look over the last 20 years, you can see that they have gained $36 trillion since 2000. You have Clinton and Bush. Excuse me, actually. In fact, Clinton managed to balance the budget. I mean, of all people, it was Clinton. You got Biden, you got Trump, and now you got Trump once more. Spending has not decreased. Spending has increased even further. When Biden took over, compared to the same period during Trump's administration. Therefore, nations are concerned about this debt, and we continue to spend money that we do not have. As a result, they are dumping for this reason as well as to gain a strategic advantage. Say, hey, you're not interested in making a good trade offer to us. You know, we're going to dump your debt along with these. And it's going to be a negative thing if the bond's 10-year yield rises beyond 5%, isn't it? Because financial services are America's product. Come put your money in our markets, banks, and nation. It will be safe and secure, and you will receive a return. People will go and invest their money elsewhere if the U.S. markets are in a free fall. Since treasury bonds are what you use to support stablecoins, you need stablecoin issuers to purchase the treasury bonds that other nations are dumping. Okay, the Trojan horse for the U.S. dollar's hegemony is stablecoins. Stablecoins have proven that the U.S. doesn't need to impose its will on other countries. Rather, financial services that are unique to cryptocurrencies wind up naturally expanding the dollar's reach. This is the strategy. Let the free market take care of the rest. Embrace stablecoins, regulate them, and keep them inside the U.S. framework. That's what the highlighted section is trying to convey. Kevin O'Leary is also here discussing loopways. Adore the concept of innovation. Although it has nothing to do with Bitcoin, the money center banks have been sabotaging the cryptocurrency market for years. Bitcoin has nothing to do with it. Digital payment systems are used. That's the possibility. We have a fantastic opportunity here. Now, the reason that will be significant and the reason that the price of Bitcoin will increase is because it will mark the beginning of the following act, the Market Infrastructure Act. And the reason it matters to everyone in this room is that we will ultimately decide whether Bitcoin is a security or a commodity. And $1 trillion will arrive and index that asset once that is decided and regulated. Katie, bar the doors. We should all hope that occurs while we are still here. Cool. Now, according to Jake Clavers, when might a reverse carry trade take place? Let's play this. It sounds interesting. When is the reverse carry trade most likely to occur, in your opinion? I believe they need to have ETFs lined up and XRP futures in place. I believe that everything must be in its proper position. There is the stablecoin bill. It might be swiftly passed. Although Tether has essentially already relocated abroad, they have been informed that they would be bound by U.S. regulations and the stablecoin bill. MiCA is in your place. With the digital pound and digital euro in the Eurozone, the UK is prepared to depart. All of these other major central banks, including the Bank of Japan, are prepared to promote their digital currency and stablecoin. With everything they require, Bank of Japan is prepared to proceed. All we need is for oil prices to soar. That will force the Bank of Japan to immediately raise interest rates, and everything will start. I'm not sure if that will be due to a shortage or something that occurs in the Middle East. I believe that's the gunshot that will set everything in motion and cause it to occur. And because everything is prepared and ready to go when they start this deal, it will happen much more quickly than people expect. Therefore, I believe that the CME is the final component they need in place in order to be able to hedge and make money.